What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Dana White shut down Colby Covington request. At UFC 296 this weekend, Colby Covington reportedly requested that Donald Trump walk him to the octagon for his main event bout. According to a report from Sporting News, Trump agreed, but UFC CEO Dana White said no. Covington spoke about the situation during his UFC 296 Media Day appearance.
He said he would walk me out, and then we called the UFC and Dana, and he said logistically, Colby, it would just be too tough. He has, almost 100 Secret Service that come with them, and it would be too much mayhem to get you to the cage and get him there at the same time. So
Covington also indicated to media members that he requested Trump wrap the belt around his waist if he wins, and Dana White has given his approval. The way Leon Edwards sees things, it doesn't matter because Covington won't be going home with the belt. He fired back during his Media Day appearance.
I don't get the fascination with another man. I don't get it. I know he used to be the president and stuff, but I don't know. It's just a weird why he picked him just to be a character off the back of him. I just don't get it. And Trump and Rob put nothing around his waist because he ain't getting about. Trump has been to his fights before when he's lost, so Trump can't fight for him. Just need to grow up and go get a girlfriend or something.
With the anticipation for the fight continuing to build when the two men step into the octagon on Saturday, expect fireworks. Next up, let's take a look at Joe Rogan reacts to Tony Ferguson versus Paddy Pimblett. This weekend's fight between Tony Ferguson and Paddy Pimblett has generated a ton of interest among fans. With Pimblett eager to return in a big way after ankle surgery and Ferguson motivated to end his 6-fight skid, the bout has continued to be one of the most talked about fights going into the card. During a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, the longtime UFC commentator spoke about the fight with comedian Shane Gillis.
He's been training with David Goggins. Fitness is important, but sparring is very important too. And, timing is important, and training and technique and drilling and being prepared to do specific things. It's just, when fighters get older, they can't move as good. There's a bunch of that you don't see, right?
Yeah.
They might have knee things that you don't see. They might have back things that you don't see. So they look the same. There's apparently a video of Tony Ferguson when he used to enter the octagon, how he used to move versus now.
Leading up to the fight, it's also been reported that Ferguson will have David Goggins in his corner. After being the first person to complete Goggins' Hell Week, the former Navy SEAL notably sung the former interim champ's praises in a post on social media, a move that surprised many of his followers given his high standards when it comes to physical fitness. Now, let's shift gears and take a look at Henry Cejudo versus Merab Dvalishvili in jeopardy. Earlier this week, reports surfaced that Henry Cejudo and Merab Dvalishvili would fight in the UFC 298 co-main event in the new year, with the machine reposting the ESPN report regarding the fight and Cejudo discussing the bout in a video for his YouTube channel. Despite that, it sounds as though the fight is not a done deal, as Dvalishvili told Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour he wants to ask the UFC to change the fight from 3 rounds to 5. However, he doesn't believe that Cejudo will agree. Although he's already received a contract from the UFC for the fight, he still has yet to sign it.
They just sent me yesterday, and I don't sign yet because I wanna ask them 5-round fights, because in contract it says 3-round fights. So I wanna fight 5-round. I feel, I will never. I'm not getting tired, so I think the later rounds I'm coming back even stronger and more energized. So I wanna ask them, and if. I hope they will be okay.
In the meantime, the machine has taken aim at Cejudo for mispronouncing his name, sharing a video on social media where he tagged Triple C and showed him exactly how to say his name properly.
What's up, everybody? Hey, Henry Cejudo, thanks for breaking news on your YouTube. But who are you fighting?
Going to be fighting Merab Dvalishvili.
My name is not Dvalishvili. Bro, learn to read and speak English. Let me help you. Listen. Merab Dvalishvili. Say it how you read it. Merab Dvalishvili. If you don't know, now you know. See you on February 17th.
From the sounds of things, based on the machine's video, the pair will be fighting on February 17th regardless of whether the bout is 3 or 5 rounds. Next, let's take a look at Dana White breaks silence on UFC 300. So far, the UFC brass has played their cards close to the vest in regards to the upcoming UFC 300 pay-per-view. While rumors and theories have continued to fly, little has been confirmed for the historic card. While the fight community has continued to share theories about who the UFC 300 headliner could be, Dana White spoke in an interview with TNT Sports where he indicated that the entire card, from top to bottom, will consist of nothing but top-notch fights.
There's this whole, what is the feel of the show going to be? We put on a live event and a television show too. And what are we going to build around the event? What's going to make 300 more special than this Saturday night? You know what I mean? The last pay-per-view of the year. So there's a lot more that goes into it than just the card. But what you can expect is the first prelim of the night for you to be going like, holy this is the first prelim of the night? This is insane. This isn't even right. These two shouldn't be on the first prelim of the night. That's how good 300 is going to be.
As White also notably indicated in the interview, despite his recent booking, Jim Miller will be on the card. So long as he emerges from his fight with Gabriel Benitez healthy enough to compete, fans will get to see Miller fight at UFC 300. True fight fans know it's about to go down this weekend. Live from Las Vegas, Leon Edwards will be putting his title on the line against Colby Covington. And we're here to make things even more sweet. Our partners at DraftKings are offering all new customers $150 in bonus bets when they place just a $5 wager on any fight. That's right, new customers who bet just $5 on any wager will get $150 in bonus bets into their accounts instantly. Stay in on the action and use your $150 in bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. There, you can combine multiple bets together from the same fight, like how many rounds it'll last and the method of victory. If you're already signed up for DraftKings, all customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay, get a bonus bet back if your bet doesn't hit. Max reward limits apply. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code MMAZone and bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code MMAZone, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Next up, let's take a look at Tony Ferguson sends warning to Paddy Pimblett. While many are viewing Tony Ferguson's UFC 296 fight with Paddy Pimblett as his last chance to get back on track before looking at retirement, El Cucuy is entering the fight with plenty of confidence. Despite any talk of his back being up against the wall, Ferguson explained that he plans to put the streaking Scouser away when they collide at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. He spoke with ESPN's Brett Okamoto.
No, not with this dude. You know, this is America, motherfucker. You're gonna come into my country and you're gonna try to be laughing against me and try to put me down? I don't think so. I'm a tough motherfucker, exactly. I love the Star Spangled Banner, dude. Like, you have no idea.
When asked about the possibility of a loss, Ferguson was quick to shut down the question, making it clear that he won't be losing on Saturday night.
What happens if this fight doesn't go the way you want?
It's going to go the way I want. I already visualized it. I tried my ass off for it. I don't see this kid beating me. He's worried about me blocking him on Instagram. Sensitive little. Wait till you get cut and you start to see your own blood. You're gonna run out of that cage back to mommy.
Pimblett was unfazed during his UFC 296 media day appearance, saying that Ferguson calling him sensitive doesn't make sense, considering El Cucuy blocked him. The way the baddie sees things, the move shows that he's in Ferguson's head. Next, let's take a look at Colby Covington and Belal Muhammad go back and forth. The expectation heading into UFC 296 is that the winner of the Leon Edwards vs. Colby Covington fight will next square off with Belal Muhammad, who is on hand in Vegas as the backup fighter. With many of the mindset that Muhammad deserved the title shot over Covington, the move wasn't surprising. However, as Covington told reporters this week, if he wins the belt, Belal Muhammad won't be getting a title shot.
No, who wants to fight a racist? I mean, could you imagine if I said someone earned something off the color of their skin? That's absolutely despicable. It's disgusting. That guy hasn't deserved anything. I mean, what has he done? He hasn't done anything. He's out there race baiting, saying, oh, he only earned this because the color of his skin, it's white privilege. Are you f***ing kidding me? Dude, he's not getting no title shot. There will be no title shot for him.
Muhammad was quick to fire back on social media, pointing out that at the end of the day, the UFC decides who gets the next crack at the belt. He wrote, "Neither of these clowns calls the shots. Leon's a nerd who throws people out of his gym because he can't handle competition. And Colby is just a bum trying to wait for Trump to be president again so he feels relevant." While it's unlikely that the UFC allows Muhammad to step into the octagon for a stare down with the winner, with the streaking contender being named as the backup fighter, it sounds as though he will be next up for a crack at the belt despite Covington's claims. The MMA community is concerned for Colby Covington after new footage emerged at the press conference on Wednesday. Colby sounds like his voice is raspy, and as fans concerned, he will pull out of the event this Saturday.
For so long, really the only thing between you and the title was Kamaru, and since you guys parted, he's been on a skid. He's lost 3 in a row. Just kind of curious what you make of that, and do you feel like if you go out there, you win on Saturday, there's still maybe some unfinished business that he'll come back down to 170 and you guys will fight again?
You know, when I fought Usman, he was in his absolute prime, #1 pound for pound. So you guys want to talk about my resume and who I fought. I fought the #1 pound for pound fighter multiple times. And in my opinion, I beat him. I beat him 7 out of 10 rounds. You go back to my fight, Madison Square Garden, go rewatch that fight. Every single fan in that arena told me, hey, you won rounds 3, 4, and 5. It was clear as day. He won 1 round, the second round. The first round was a toss-up. So I do feel like I beat him, you know, in that fight, and I feel like I'm a better fighter than him. So, you know, I would love to see that trilogy. That's another fight that plays out. So all these other contenders can wait because that's bigger business, you know, that me and Usman have to settle. It's unfinished business.
Speaking of Kamaru Usman, what do you think of his fight against Khamzat Chimaev?
I thought he beat him. I thought he beat Khamzat. You know, he was striking him. You know, I thought he dropped him. You know, Khamzat was scared to strike with him. He didn't even hit him once. You know, look at the significant strikes that were landed. So, you know, if that was a 5-round fight, Usman would have destroyed him. He would have finished him in those championship rounds. So I thought he looked good. He took it on, what, 4 or 5 days notice, you know, at 185. So up a weight class. He never fought in that weight class. So, you know, I thought he beat him, and I think a lot of the fans thought that.
With Ian Gary forced out of his fight against Vicente Luque from the flu, it makes Colby's situation more concerning. Here's what the MMA community had to say. Does Colby sound sickly to anybody else? Every time I've heard him talk this week, his voice sounds weaker than normal. I don't know what it is. One fan responded saying, I thought so too. It might just be him doing more media than usual, so he's losing his voice from talking so much. Hope he's not sick. I really don't want to see Edwards versus Belal. A lot of people saying it's the weight cut, but I think the bad weight cut is proof of him being sick. He's never struggled to make weight as badly as he did for this fight, so it seems like something must be different coming in. Being sick would answer a lot of questions. I wouldn't be surprised if a few fall off the card or fight sick. Everyone is getting sick right now where I live. Just seems like it's going around really bad this year. I thought so too. Even from Embedded episode 2, I was suspecting it. I was chalking it up to dehydration from the weight cut, like how bad Woodley's voice was those last couple fights. He hasn't done it in a while, and it might be getting harder with age too. Colby sounds rough. Top comments. Paddy is lucky Ian came along and is more hated. I'm tired of rematches, and Islam is correct in terms of his personal legacy. Give him 3 more fights at lightweight, and he can go on and try for the welterweight belt if he wants to. Islam refusing to fight Oliveira because he'd rather fight someone who Khabib and Charles both beat in 1 round is crazy. Plus, DC crazy for agreeing with that. If the UFC had plans for Holloway and he can't fight in March, it's possible he's one of the fighters on the 300 card. Ian and Paddy are both legends in their own mind, and that's it. Nobody cares for them. Make sure to leave a comment and you might get featured in our next video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to never miss any MMA news. Check out our video from yesterday if you missed it. See you tomorrow.